the centuries, different renovations of the castle. This is how the castle would have looked back in the early 900s. This is how the castle looked over 1,000 years ago. Mostly wooden structures. Small stone church in the middle, St. Vitus Rotunda. So over 1,000 years ago, this was right over here. Get up to the 1200s, things are getting a little bit more impressive. More stone structures. That small rotunda has magically turned into a lovely Romanesque basilica. It's the 1200s. Now in the 1300s, Charles IV came to power, greatest Czech ruler of all time, Holy Roman Emperor. He made some improvements. More walls, more moats, more security for the Holy Roman Emperor. Also, he transformed the church, tore that down, built a new one. St. Vitus Cathedral, the beginnings of that church, which still stands to this day, in the French Gothic style. In the 1500s, the Habsburgs took over this land, ruled for about 400 years from Austria mostly. They made some renovations. This is how it would look in the 1600s, after about 100 years of their rule. More Renaissance style, so you get more big, more impressive as time goes on. Now, the last big renovation was done in the 1700s under Maria Theresa. You know this name? Yeah. Maria Theresa. She was one female Habsburg ruler. She actually had to fight the War of Austrian Succession to maintain the throne. People weren't happy to have a woman in charge. She lost the city of Prague for a while. Her troops fought to take it back. The castle was damaged a lot. They had to renovate it, and they did it in the classical style, which gives the castle the look it has to this day. Basically what you're going to see. I'll say one more thing about Maria Theresa. She was a very brave woman. I say this because she had 16 children. In the 1700s, she gave birth 16 times. I witnessed a childbirth about 19 months ago. I would have no interest in that one time in modern times. Let alone 16 times in the 1700s. She had one very famous daughter. Anybody name her very famous daughter?
Marie Antoinette.
Went down to Paris, had a slightly rough time.
Maria Antonietta.
Came down for a visit. They brought two gifts, two Belarusian brown bears. And the bears actually lived down here in the deer moat. Right? They had a little bear house, a bear keeper, bear food, all the bear necessities. This is the deer moat. What do you guys think of the deer moat? It's a little dry. It's a little dry. Hey, where's the water? Basically, in the 1500s, the moat wasn't really strategically important here. They filled it in and made more of a park out of it. Now, kings have a lot of free time. What do kings like to do?
Hunt.
They like to hunt. But sometimes kings are lazy. They don't want to go out to the woods and find a deer to shoot. So you put deer right here, the king goes in his front yard, shoots a deer. Yeah, I'm a big brave hunter. Good little sportsman. Now, some of the kings are actually...
Okay, sir. Okay, that's enough.
Like a 2 or 3 day trip from our way.
Who's seen the movie Amadeus? About Mozart's life? Great movie, won a lot of Academy Awards. The director was actually originally from Czechoslovakia, Miloš Forman. Died a few months ago, sadly. Great director. The movie actually won the Academy Award for costume design. So Václav Havel was trying to figure out what to put these guards, and he actually called up Miloš Forman and said, hey, who's your costume guy? And that's the guy that made the uniforms that they wear to this day. Kind of interesting. Who's been to Buckingham Palace before? Seen the change in the guards there? I think they have 2-hour shifts. These guys have hour-long shifts. I can probably survive that. So they're still there. I don't know if it's a fun job. But I've heard basically...
Wow, look at that. This is the real house. Wow. Look at that.
I showed you the evolution of the castle earlier over the centuries. In the early 900s, there was that small rotunda, all right? Then there was the Romanesque basilica in the 1200s. Charles IV started to build this church in the mid-1300s, 1344, down way at the far end. They built about halfway down. In the early 1400s, the Hussite Wars broke out. Construction stopped about 100 years. They started to build again a little bit more, but in the early 1500s, the Catholics took over. They pretty much ruled from Austria, didn't care so much about projects here. Construction stopped for centuries. They finally started working on this again in the late 1800s, finally completed the church in 1929. So almost 600 years.
No. It's the prison.
Wow, look at this. Is this the guest house? Unbelievable. Look at this.
If you pray to different saints, they'll protect you from different things, you know. If you pray to Saint Vitus, he'll protect you from animal attacks. He'll protect you from lightning strikes. And I think most importantly, he'll protect you from oversleeping. That's kind of handy, right? You have a flight tomorrow, you pray to him to catch your flight. Now talk about the architecture here. You look at this tower, you go up towards the top, it's all Gothic, You go up towards the top, the walls kind of change. See the walls get flat there? That's a Renaissance style. In the 1500s, there was a big fire on this side of the river. The roof burned down. They had to replace it. But at this point, Gothic architecture was not in style. It was the Renaissance period. So Renaissance walls and a Renaissance roof up on top. But in the 1600s, something happened to this Renaissance roof. Can you guess what happened to it?
Burned down.
Struck by lightning. See what I'm saying? Saint Vitus did not protect his own cathedral. Struck by lightning, burned, they had to replace it. But at this point, Renaissance architecture wasn't style, it was the Baroque period, except for the Baroque roof on top. So one time you've got Gothic, you've got Renaissance, and you've got Baroque. Like architectural design stacked on top of it, kind of crazy. About halfway down, you've got this golden R. That R stands for Rudolph. Rudolph the Second, one halfway to love Prague. He also loved clocks. He had these clocks to the towers during his reign. But it's before you can have the hours on and the minutes on one hand, so you got the hours up above, the minutes down below. Kind of interesting, the evolution of telling time. Any questions about the church before we move on?
Wait, I don't.
Step middle, there you go.
Oh wow, it sounds like you're like a microphone.
How do,
Hello? Oh shit. It is true.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. Hello. Whoa. Huh? Hello.
You don't all have to say hello.
Knock knock.
So she had to find a husband. How was she going to find a husband? Well, she had a big, beautiful white horse now. She broke with family tradition. Instead, she simply married the son of the most powerful man in Europe, the son of the Holy Roman Emperor, a man named John of Luxembourg. Right? Now, their relationship was cool for a while. They had a few kids, were happy for a while, but later on, she was kind of plotting to have him overthrown. He found out about this. He had her arrested. He had her banned. It was a rough marriage by the end. But one good thing did come from their union. Their firstborn son was actually Charles IV, the greatest Czech ruler of all time.
Nem mondanám, hogy tök más.
換衫啊，搞笑。拜拜，走咯。
Okay, how do you like the castle?
It was a great castle. Really big.
Didn't look like one, but it was a castle.
Yes, it just looked like a village. With a big cathedral. Yeah.
Well, so far, Prague is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Ciao.